Let's begin.
Alright, so in this tutorial, I'm going to try to make a melody to show you guys my process, and hopefully it comes out good. So I've set up here a bass, a polysynth to make chords, and this is our lead synth. For the bass, I'm just going to start in F minor. Maybe a lot of you guys already know this, but F minor is my favorite scale to get down. Alright, let's try to give it some rhythm. Maybe like bum 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 bum. We could start on a more interesting note than the root. We could start C sharp and go down to our fifth. So we're going, if you're thinking about it in minor terms, we're going from the 6 to the 5. The most natural thing to go to is back to the 1 here. And that is because the 5 always leads back to the 1, most naturally. We could do something more interesting. I was thinking that we could walk down from the 1. So we go from the 1 to that, which is the 7, and back down to the 6, which is our starting chord. So then we have this. And when writing melodies, for me, it's often really helpful to have chords, so we're going to go to our polysynth and create triads based on the bass notes that we created. Usually the C major is not in our F minor scale, but we're using a slightly more exotic variation called the F harmonic minor, which gives us the note E and allows us to make the C major chord. Now we have to think about melody. The first note that we're going to do here is the G sharp. So why do the G sharp? Well, if you think about the chord that's going on underneath it, which is the C sharp major, it fits perfectly. It's the 5th. And in a sense, all of the notes playing over each other become a chord. So if you were to start with the C here over your C sharp major, it would make it C sharp major, major 7th. And it's just a little bit weirder. Not necessarily bad, but maybe not as powerful. Okay, so I believe the thing I played was... Okay. You don't have to draw it in, but I like to draw it in. Okay. And this note is shorter. It's a little short note like that. And then it sounds like that would come down to, probably because it's hitting the C and then the chord becomes a C, you'd sort of make the chord. So that top note, that C, it's sort of leading you in to the C major chord. And naturally, we'd probably go to the G, because that also falls into the chord. That sounds nice. Okay, now we have to figure out what this is going to do. Sounds like it should go up. Maybe... That's good, that works just fine, but maybe not that exciting. Maybe if we took it up here. That's a little bit better. But maybe... maybe this. It's a little more interesting. Maybe you could keep rising, so... See, that's nice. And it sounds like it would do this. For some reason, this is something that comes up a lot for me. To do... kind of like, which is the Showtek bad melody. It's a habit of mine, and not necessarily, I don't think, a bad habit, to constantly be pulling from great melodies that you really like to sort of tie together your own, like we're doing here. It kind of seems like with what the chord is doing, how the chord is resolving back into our first chord, which is the 6. It sounds like this F should just sort of sustain along with that. It's like you're coming back home. Then some sort of fill at the end, like this maybe. Something about that's just too happy. Oftentimes, if you want things to feel more mysterious or darker, you can utilize the half-step relationships in your scale, which here is the C sharp to the C. Yeah, it's better. Can maybe use another note here just to keep things moving. And then here, it kind of sounds like it should swoop down and then come back like this. I think probably just an octave. I think that's good. Now, it might get a little bit boring hearing this over and over again, so let's duplicate it and think about how we could change it a little bit here. You probably don't want to change the first few notes. They're just sort of the staple right now. They're the signature of it. So you don't want to change something that is sort of like your home, meaning these first notes here. But you could change this to maybe... Okay, it's getting a little weird, but maybe it's a good thing. Okay, now we could keep the rest of it the same and just change that. Or we could walk up here. In order to keep the symmetry, which is not always important, well, it's usually important. Not everything has to be perfectly symmetrical. In this case, let's see what we did here. This part corresponds with this part. Now, they are not perfectly symmetrical in the sense that this one just does the same note, the C, whereas this one changes from your G sharp to your G. That's okay. To my ear, that's okay. But to help us decide this here, what are we going to walk up to here is the question. This is the counterpart to this. What we've done here is a walk up, and we could do the same here. Maybe. We could try from the B flat to the C. I think that sounds pretty good, actually. The only thing that perhaps we would want to change is the ending here. We could try just a small change. Nope. So that's on the conservative side. That's a very small change. If we wanted to make a bigger change, what could we do? We could do something sort of asymmetrical where we hold out this note. Okay, I'm not sure about the very last note, but maybe the chord here, if this changed only this time, maybe would help us. The easiest thing probably would just be to go flat, to literally move everything down. And that will give you this C major from the C sharp major. Ow, gotta do that. Now, falling to the F is not the most suspenseful note. It's the root, not necessarily a bad thing. This maybe fits the chord better. Not sure. Well, that obviously fits the chord as well because that's doing the third of the C major. If we want to leave this a little open-ended, we could delete the third from the chord. Now, if we add the F here, and you remember us talking about the notes of your melody combining with the chord that's underneath to invent a new chord, what you have is a C sus4, which is taking the third, which would normally be an E, and turning it into an F. So you've got C, F, G. And it falls really nicely back into the C major, making you want the F minor. All of that is to say this, that the F here makes that weird chord, which is effectively your C, your F, and your G. There you have it. We have made a melody, and it's actually not bad. It's quite good. So good luck, you guys, and I hope this helps.